over 1 million acres, Sequoia is the fourth largest of California's 20 national forests, and we find ourselves visiting it not just for the colossal trees, but also the Kern River and massive granite rocks with their waterfalls and water slides. Seriously, water slides. Woohoo! But this wonderland also has a dark side. Forest fires. We had to evacuate from the fires 2 years ago and haven't been back. Slowly, some of the roads have reopened. So when my teenage niece and nephew came out from Baltimore to go camping, I knew exactly where I wanted to take them.
You guys are so deep out there. You guys swimming? We're out here at the lake fishing, trying to catch something. There are fish jumping all around. Like we've seen, I'm not kidding, just every couple minutes we're seeing fish jumping. We're also monitoring a smoky situation here to the south of us that seems to be blowing in. We can actually smell a little bit of smoke here as well. Very clearly smoke. I looked on the CAL FIRE website. There is a fire that started today in Bakersfield, which is where that direction is, called the East Fire, and it's 0% contained, just started. You come up here, Sequoia National Forest, in August, you absolutely have to keep your eye on the fire map, and you have to keep your eye to the sky for fire. We've been up here and had to evacuate more than once, so this is kind of the reality, unfortunately, of this area this time of year. You can bet that we will be logging into CAL FIRE throughout the day and night.
CAL FIRE maintains a fires incident page that we use not only to plan our trips, but more importantly, to keep an eye on active fires while we're camping so we can steer clear of them. Checking this page anytime you're camping during fire season is a must.
The boys are in the water, or they're just screaming their heads off for no reason. All right, man, I hope we catch something. Look, there's a fish just jumped right here, literally right here. Aiden, catch that fish, man. All right, Bryson, how was it, bud?
Good.
Yeah? Did you like getting wet and swimming?
I swim.
The smoke in the background is there, but it actually looks like it's less than it was a little bit ago. So hopefully that's a good sign for the fire. I don't know where we're camping because I don't know what roads are open. I did talk to the rangers yesterday. The roads that I was asking them about, they weren't sure about. So that means we'll see. And we've got about an hour and a half left of sunlight. It's time to go find a campsite.
As we looked for a campsite, the scene was unexpected. It was raw. After we fled these wildfires 2 years ago, they had torched the landscape behind us, and now we return to a wasteland, hoping to find some place untouched by the flames. My first two favorite hidden spots that we drove by are now charred beyond fun. And with the sun now gone, we continue to our backup site, a dispersed camping area near Peppermint Falls. For this trip, I had recruited my buddy Robert with his son Chase. Robert is usually the guy with his camp kitchen set up first, and the setup is always changing.
Love this table, man.
Oh, I hate it. It's the worst. Seriously.
It's like we're at a wedding, but it's also like you're the bartender. This is not good. What do you think of the Sequoia Red, by the way?
It's actually nice and smooth.
And when you're in Sequoia, it's like the perfect thing.
Just a couple of bergs.
All right, right on.
Yeah, going old school with some fruit. Making it cheese style. Easy for the kids. For the adults, some chips and dip.
Oh, thanks, man. Eat some food. All right, nice.
As we sat around the crackling fire, I reflected on the dual nature of it, both useful and destructive. With these thoughts in mind, I planned to hike around in the morning and assess the extent of the damage.
Camped next to that last night. I'll tell you what, this was not where we expected to be. I called. There are a couple roads that I know up here, and not everything is reopened yet. There's been a lot of fire damage up here. And so I called the ranger station. I gave them two very specific roads. Online, they said they were open. The rangers told me they were open, but I guess they were closed. We just kind of drove up here because this was a spot that we knew, a place that we could camp. So here we are. The plan for today, I think we'll do the hike to Peppermint Falls. We're here, let's check it out. Man, this is nice down here by the water. I think I'm gonna try to fish for a second, see if I catch anything. I think I'll just stick to drinking coffee. Let me show you this beautiful river here. This is so nice. There was a lot of fire damage on the way in here. The roads that are closed, I think are probably closed because of fire damage. Most of these trees got hit by a fire that came through here 2 years ago. And we were up here. This area was completely closed off because of the fire. Actually got to explore a whole new area that was pretty cool. But didn't get up in here. So I'm kind of excited to get up here and check this out.
The orange Jeep on our adventure is my buddy Cliff with his son Rhodes, and my frequent walking companion, his Bernese mountain dog Lulu.
I could see the smoke. I knew somebody was cooking. Nice.
Hi.
Good morning.
Have a little extra sausage, so.
Okay, I'll hit it. Sure, man. I have like 4 or 5 different camp stoves of different sizes and everything.
Yeah.
And I end up carrying something very similar, just one that goes on propane. The propane allows me to also run my heaters and other stuff, right? And we got sausage patties coming up. Got some little slider buns. We'll throw some cheese on top and toast your buns. We'll make these little guys.
Oh, it's delicious. Oh my God.
All right.
So there's that.
Yeah, looks good. These come with a little adapter. I think that adapter actually goes into the larger one. If you just plug this in, it doesn't fit. Take that little adapter off. Boom. And now you've got a blue light. These guys, if you want to get even more power, if you can make them even more perpendicular, the sun's coming right here and hitting on this angle. If you can back them up even a little bit more, I bet you'll get this up to like 125.
That's how a man dresses. Amazing.
With our bellies full and our batteries charging, we headed off to find Peppermint Falls. Hiking to the base of the falls seemed a bit tough with all the kids, so we stayed up top and looked for gold in Peppermint Creek. While most of California's gold is in the northern Sierras, a fair amount of gold has also come out of this area in Sequoias, known as the Kern River Valley, and people continue to find gold here today.
This is probably pyrite, fool's gold. The way that you know, Brody, get the biggest flake you can find and try to break it. If it breaks into a bunch of pieces, then it's fool's gold or pyrite. If it bends when you try to break it, then that's going to be gold. Gold is a metal and pyrite is a mineral.
It looks like it broke in two, huh? Mm-hmm. Not gold. I just used my thumbnail usually.
Let's see. Oh, that one bent. No, it broke.
Look at this. Look at this one.
All right, give it up.
We didn't find any gold, so we headed back through the burned out forest to the true treasure of these mountains, the giant sequoias.
Are you guys ready to go to the trees? All right. All right.
All the big trees.
Big trees are further up. Let's go. Right, Trail of 100 Giants, y'all.
One of the best groves of giant sequoias is the Trail of 100 Giants, and when the Windy Fire came through, the heroes of CAL FIRE worked tirelessly to keep much of it intact, though still a third of the trees were destroyed. We hadn't been back since the fire, and were eager to see what had survived.
How old do you think this tree is?
Look at this big tree, Bryson. These are the biggest trees.
You got to stand up on your own roots. You got to use your legs.
It's basically a hollowed out tree road.
This is pretty cool. Walk. That tree is so long. This is neat. It's like a little walk through the forest of 100 giants on trees. Look at all these. These must have all been burned, these ones they cut down. Most of the trail is closed because of fire damage. And there's fire damage everywhere. I'll show you another spot here where just a lot of fire down there.
Sequoias have stood sentinel over these lands for thousands of years, the oldest being over 3,000 years old. And it's a gut punch seeing them like this, victims of the flames. But without fire, they cannot reproduce. The giant sequoia are serotinous, which means their cones don't release seeds until subjected to heat, dropping their slow-growing seeds into a layer of nutrient-dense ash so they can survive. It turns out, fire and the giant sequoia are ancient friends.
Nice job. Parkour. How was the walk? Anything cool? Guys.
A quick stop at the gift shop, and we're off to find the water slides.
He said my name.
Show it to me. Let me see.
Yes.
Show it to me. Show it to me.
Twist it around, the other way around.
Why? What are you doing?
Daddy.
What exactly are you doing?
The water slide's exact location is something of a secret, but know that getting there requires a nice hike that always seems a little longer than I remember, giving us plenty of time to discuss Minecraft.
Daddy, you can use shulker shells to make chests, and then the chest, when you break them, your items won't fall out. You can break it and then place it back down, and your items are all still in.
What? Oh, we need to go get more shulker shells.
How big is it? Is there any drops? Normally it could drop down. It just goes into the water.
It just goes into the pool, yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't drop.
No, it's not really a drop. All right.
You just at the pool.
Whew. We've done this hike before, Bryson. I believe I have Brody on my head like this. I can't remember. On our way.
Coming. Go, just go.
All right.
Sorry if you die. Woohoo! Oh! Yeah! Go, Daddy!
This is the natural water slide. All right, we got Aiden in the water. Woo-hoo. Yeah, Oh man, what a fun little scene. You're like, it's gonna be worth it. Oh man, bro. We are leaving the water slide, and that was actually worth the hike. Adeline, worth the hike, even though you didn't jump in the slide? The walk back is easier. We're going downhill.
We left behind the echoes of laughter and found ourselves winding through the Kern River Valley. Ahead of us, the majestic granite rock formation known as the Needles continue to stand sentinel over this valley.
We've just stopped for a second. The Needles, what a beautiful spot.
Robert's looking for his phone. Poor guy. Hopefully he can find it.
The fire lookout that once sat atop these rocks was lost in a fire 10 years ago, but you can still hike to the top for an amazing view. But with the day getting late, we decided to save this one for next time.
We have driven out to the Needles. Now it's time to head back to camp. We're camped literally just over there.
We returned once again to camp to open up our tents and get our pizza going. It was time to split wood and tell stories around the campfire.
Hey, who's ready for pizza? It has your name on it and it looks super tasty.
It doesn't have my name. It's checkers board.
You want more? Coming up. Ooh. Bro, how is it? Right?
Yes. That way you won't drop it.
You the chef?
I'm trying to earn my chef badge for the second time.
Oh, good work.
And then it's D.
Yeah.
Keep on forgetting.
There, amidst the ashes of what was, you couldn't help but reflect on the resilience of this place. The forest response to fire is not so much a tale of loss, but a story of renewal. It's a slow burn, sure. The forest recovery won't happen overnight. It'll take time, honestly, longer than I would like. But this is the story of Sequoia National Forest, resilience and a remarkable endurance. It's nature's reminder to me that sometimes, to go forward, you have to pass through the fire.